When you're on your screen, now this person that is on your screen. Now he don't win presidential election inside Senegal. How old is he? Some say 43, some say 44. So let us take the average, 43. Against all odds inside that country, we will hear say the sitting government won't go for third tenure. The elders of the land and the people of the country say no, you no go work. He try make you postpone election. Let's say can't get candidate where you want make you enter. They say lie election must hold. The man tried everything where him fit do to forsake the election. They say no, election must hold. The elders of the land spoke. The people of the land also spoke. You understand? To make sure that the right things are done. In Nigeria, where are the elders of the land? Are there elders of the land in Nigeria? I will tell you where they are. And what they are up to. I will tell you. The elders of Nigeria, where are they? Where are these people that we call elder statesmen? Where are they? What are their input? What have they done to strengthen this country? What have they done to put the government on their toes and make sure that things are functioning well inside this country? Being that they have seen it all. The elder people, the elders of the land, the red cap chiefs, let me say it like that. You understand? The abalabas, where are they? That is the question I want to answer with the next clip I want to play for Onana. So when I go know to our elders, they do and who they are. And with such elders, can this country make progress? Can we? You can answer that question after you don't watch this video. With these guy elders, are we seeing light at the end of the tunnel? You go answer that one. With these same elders, are they speaking up when they're supposed to speak up? You go answer that one. Then, within our political space, from that video I won't play for you, you will see the kind of people that have occupied it. Whether now the young people or now these supposed elders. Let me not talk too much. I give you the ever eloquent, truthful, how I want to talk again. Retired lawyer. You say no, they practice again, they retire. Say the profession they vessel. Obedient. Somebody we want make this country work. Who am I talking about? Is they your skin already? Dele, Farotimi. Well, let us listen to what they have to say about the elders of the land, who they are, where they are, what are they doing as at the moment, and can this country be better again? Watch.
When the Yorubas said Agbakiwa Loja Kolo Omotuntun walk, what were they really saying? They had presumed that the elders that would be found in that space were wise elders, altruistic elders. Who is an elder? Somebody who has seen life, who has been matured by life, who have gained experience, who has stopped being existential in their outlook, who are more considerate, who are tempered by age and by experience, where we are and where we are going. So it now begs the question, where are the elders of Nigeria? This question is pertinent because everywhere you look in the space called Nigeria, every aspect of our national life, from education to healthcare, to road infrastructure, to security, to governance, nothing is suggestive of a people who are blessed with elders. Because nothing about this should be considered normal. Everything in our space is maddening. If they are not killing soldiers in Okwama, it is soldiers that is on reprisal attack in Okwama. If they are not killing policemen in Delta, it is policemen that are busy shooting somebody else. If they are not kidnapping children from schools in Kaduna, it is in Jangale that they are kidnapping children. If we are not hearing a madman like Gumi telling us how terrorism is a business. You are hearing a government succeeding another government from the same party coming out years after the fact and publishing a list of terror financiers. And then you hear somebody say, how can you be calling somebody terrorist when you yourself, you are a forger, a drug pusher? Where are the elders? These are the questions that comes to mind when you see the madness in the Nigerian space. When you hear about 3.7 billion having been spent to pad the budget, and the same government, the same National Assembly could not find 5 billion for the student loans. But you begin to ask these questions because this is not suggestive of the people who are going anywhere good anytime fast. So you begin to ask this question, and this question has been bothering my mind, and I've had an extra week to consider this. So I asked the question, Nigeria, where are the elders? But it's not full of wisdom. An old idiot, an old fool, an unwise elder. Those are the people we call Agbaya. So even in the Yoruba tradition, there was always a recognition of the fact that some people might be old, but be unwise. So what has happened to us as a people? From the land of the Yorubas to the land of the Ndigos, to Alaibo, to the land of the Hausas, to the land of the Fulani, the Kanuris, the Ijos, the Biobio. Where are the elders? Why is the country going to the dogs? Why are young men and women fleeing our country? And you do not hear a whimper from those who should know better, who should be tempered with age, who should understand the temporal nature of the life they are living, because they've lived long enough to have buried brothers, to have buried sisters, some have buried wives, some have buried husbands, some have buried their own children. But they are still fixed on living as though they would live forever. Where are the elders? To point out when things are going wrong, those are the functions of the elders. That is what they are meant to do. But we are in a situation where those who are meant to know better are almost always the ones who behave as miscreants. Let's take, for instance, your Senate President. Akpabio cannot be less than 60. I don't know what his real age is. Let's take again your president. Everything is suggestive of the fact that he's at least 70-something years old. But what are they doing? They are the ones who are constantly bringing evil into our space and normalizing it as though that is the way things should be. Look around Nigeria and tell me if anything in our space is suggestive of a place that is occupied by altruistic elders. The only thing that you hear these elders constantly demanding are self-gratifications. From the judiciary, let's talk about the judiciary. Before you become an appellate court judge, it is assumed that you have proven your brilliance in the lower court. But by the time you get to the Court of Appeal, for instance, you are almost always in your 50s. Some in their 60s, and then they begin to gain the numbers. But by the time you get to the Supreme Court, you are almost always in your 60s. So you would imagine that these are persons who should be fixed on posterity. Before you get into the Senate, you are either in your late 40s if you are actually fortunate to start your political career early, but now that they've turned the Senate into the retirement home of governors, you find that they are almost always in their 60s, in their 70s. This is not suggestive of a space where you should find people scrambling for material acquisition, primitive material acquisition. Akpabio, for instance, has been in governance for over 20 years. He's been a two-term governor. He's been in the Senate before. He's been a minister. How much can you spend in one lifetime? Or has somebody told these people that they can come back a second time? You find men like Gowon, who has been the president of this country in his 20s. and he was so intemperate that he would still be talking about the glorification of genocide. These are the kind of elders that populate the Nigerian space. I'm speaking specifically of Odi. Let me be clear. A court of law, I believe it was the Federal High Court, asked the federal government to pay approximately over 10 billion in damages for what happened in Odi. Now, understand this. The man who led the massacre of policemen in Odi was still strutting around, and I believe he was the head of some vigilante group that was formed during Timi Praise Silver's time as governor. So a murder that had taken place, I believe, since 2000, the murderer, the head of that group, I think some guy named Ken, was not apprehended and killed in questionable circumstances for that matter until about 2009. But multiple innocent people had been wiped out. So if you do not leave a legacy of credible service in your youth, if the community does not recognize you as a good man, altruistic person when you were young, your voice is devalued in your old age. So it is not every elder that preaches good that is listened to. They are more focused on dissipation. In their old age, they are still busy chasing skirts. In their old age, they still want to build mansions. How many rooms can you sleep in one lifetime? They are still chasing cars. They are still consumed by their carnality. The assumption is always that as you grow older, you become tempered. You become focused on the hereafter. You become more inclined to consider the future. Where are the Eshinwaju that the ones behind should follow in Nigeria? Any youth following the aged in Nigeria, those who should be called elders, is lost. They have not left a legacy of good services. They are lacking in vision. The Bible says that the old men shall dream dreams, and the young men shall see visions. The old men in Nigeria have not even allowed the space for the young to envision anything because they've laid no foundation for which anyone might follow.
For centuries, the Ijele has been a revered masquerade in Igboland, a predominant tribe in southern Nigeria. The Ijele is a grand spectacle that commands respect, awe, and celebration. Today, Innocent Vehicles brings you the Ijele in a new form. A majestic, robust, and monolithic pickup truck designed to leave an indelible mark in the annals of automotive history. The Innocent Ijele is equipped with a powerful 3.0 L-turbo engine and 4WD to conquer any terrain with ease. Make way for the Innocent Ijele, Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.